a welcoming sense of gathering. Internally, gathering the energy, the connectedness, connecting with the physicality, the physical as a place, as a weight. Connecting and welcoming this connection, appreciating this connection. With a sense of welcoming, well-wishing. Supported from the pelvic floor through the spine, released in the top of the spine, the balance of the skull, in the middle of the skull, balances on the top of the spine. Recollecting, reconnecting, and gathering. The rhythm of the breath. Received, released. In the gift of awake attention. It's like this. Without expectation, without regret. And gathered, collected, reconnection. In this space, this time. this now, this here. This release. In this stillness, in this space, this silence. This patience. The eyes, open or closed. The ears, just receiving. And taste. And the smell. The touch of the clothes. The weight of the body. Released. The whole of it. Sustained in attention. And the gift of life. And the gift of life to life. And allowing of trust. And the capacity to be here. To sustain the energy and the collectedness of clear attention without expectation, hope or fear, worry or remorse. And if these aren't present, then just they're Dhamma too, need to be got rid of or complained about, and trusting and knowing. As a refuge, trusting the well-wishing of life. The whole of the body, the whole of the breath, and the interest and release, and gratitude for the sensitivity, and the tolerance, capacity that allows stillness and silence. And it's wholly accepting, wholly well-wishing, wholly appreciating. Unlimited. Wholly concentrated or absorbed, but unrestricted. Dressed like this, with this haircut, and living in a monastery and going places where people expect me to talk about this and that. I get asked all sorts of questions, and the repeat question is, how do you know what to do? And the reply is, I've gotten round to trying to keep simple is practice the Eightfold Path. But people want to be me to be more specific than that. If you're cooking, follow the recipe and learn from your experience. Read the instructions of the things that you put together. These sorts of things. But then people say, there are no instructions for my life. I haven't read the book yet. I've got to get old before I write my autobiography. Or get somebody else to write my biography, which will explain what I did or what I should have done. No, because there's a lot of self involved in our stories. And it's not wrong. No, there have been causes and conditions that have brought us to where we are now. Our life histories, our previous life karma, if we believe in that. Geopolitical situation, the particular situation in our particular country, our particular group of people that we know and work with. People that we're friends with. And this is where we are. I do get asked questions about relationships and jobs and families. Families I have some experience with. I'm another relationship with my folks was okay, was certainly more than good enough. And my gratitude and appreciation for them is undying. Where we are, what can we trust in our decision making and what we should do? And for all of us, we have our own particular thing to deal with, and then the faculties that we have that we can exercise. These faculties that when they lead to fruition, they become powers. These are 5 areas that one can work with. These are spiritual faculties. The handful of indriya that we can, like the muscle groups, or if we do workouts, you can see how in the before and after pictures of people who've been working on their physical form, how the muscle groups can change. And from weak to strong, how the flexibility can shift, how the capacity can change. And for spiritual faculties, the balancing one is sati. The balancing one is sati, which is why the whole thing works around knowing what you're doing and why you're doing it, what it's about. And on the one side of these 5, you've got saddha and virya, and on the other you've got samadhi and panya. And these are every human being has some aspect of this. It's the gift of a human birth, the faculties, spiritual faculties. And the confidence or the faith or saddha is like the fuel. The fuel, without the fuel, without the resource of the reservoir of saddha, it's difficult to get the effort or virya going. To even begin to practice sati and can have some sort of continuity with it and collectedness around it for samadhi, or even get anything out of interest in developing wisdom. So saddha is a good place to start. It's not necessary, because some people start with panya, some people start with virya, some people start with samadhi, I don't know, but the balance is sati, but saddha is the fuel. It's like, and that's where good friendship helps, associating with things that give you a sense of uplift, a sense of confidence. There's another word for faith. The faith of the Buddhist is confidence that things will work out, that it is possible, that the maps are okay, that the instructions can be followed. Otherwise, one won't bother to even begin. That's why, the thing about view is helpful. It's what to do with that ditthi view. It's the active part of the path is based on that confidence that there is something that can be done. There must be some sort of way of working within this limitation. Now, what to do, and that's to do with panya. What to do is to do with panya, and that's to know where you're at, what the limitations are, what you're working with, to know how much, the first part of panya is knowing that you don't know. And that's also a faculty. But in panya, it's like, this is what I'm working with, and this is the situation that I found myself in. This is my story. This is where I am. Now, how much it should change or how much you can affect the change is to do with your virya and your samadhi and your panya. And then the mindfulness is the knowing that it's this is where it is now. This is what I'm doing now. And should I be what should I do with my life? What should I do with my children? What should I do with my parents? What should I do with my friends? How should I earn a living? All of this, what? I don't know. But you can work it out. No, if you're paralyzed, then you need to and you're too stuck in something, then that's samadhi. Too much samadhi. You need to put a boot in and change things and shift it. But if you have some confidence that you can work it, then figure it out. This is what I can do. This is how I can plan the next. I don't know how long I'm going to live, but this is what I've got. This is the best thing that I can do with it. People say or ask, why are you still a monk, or what's kept you being a monk? And the answer for me is gratitude. That's what's kept me going. It does give me a sense of wanting to give back. But it's also recognizing that this is the limitation that I can work with. I don't feel that I could, particularly at this stage of my life, I don't feel like I really want to take up a new career in bus driving or something like that. It's not going to work. I do think bus drivers have a really useful place in society. Everybody has a good place in society. The society needs it's all like this. But I don't think I'd make a very good, it's too late for many things for this thing. And so I work with what I've got. And this is the causes and conditions to do the best I can with this. And for all of you, wherever you are, when you're young, you have incredible power of potential. Whether that power of potential is realized or not, young people have that power. Older people may have the power of experience and some actual wisdom to offer. And they may have political power or economic power as well, which very young people don't necessarily have. Younger people may have more as they get older and that. So, but you need to work with the effort, what you can put into it. The virya is what the fuel is saddha. The actual horsepower is the virya that you're prepared to put into it. And that's the energy that you have, whatever it is. The vigor, virya is related to vigor, and vigor comes in many forms. The sustaining of that is the samadhi. The clarity of that application is the samadhi. The clarity of the application. And the directing of it in a particular way is to do with panya. Is to do with the wisdom that you have. So if you figure out that this is something that this is an achievable thing, then you have to figure out how to get there. Figure out that you don't know necessarily, and then figure out what you do know, and then figure out what to do with it. Now, in terms of choosing teachers and choosing friends, do make good friends with yourself. Do have a sense of real care for this one that you're living with. So you treat it well, treat it kindly. And dwelling in aversion to it is just exhausting. Feeling that you haven't got enough and you're inadequate or you can't do it, that's just tiring. But doing as much as you can and working with it is helpful, and having people who encourage you is helpful. And be a good friend. Encourage others to be independent, to find their own friends. Check out the friends. Are they really good friends? Do they really support you? Do the people that you're in contact with, do you have to be protective about them, protective of yourself? Or can you be open? Do you know how much to be open with people so that you don't dump stuff on them, so that you're not making yourself a burden for others? And so you find a way of balancing this. This is your panya, and your sati keeps the balance going. So whether you should go somewhere or whether you shouldn't go somewhere, whether you should do this or you should do that. Commitment is helpful because that helps you recognize this is the container you're working with. This is something you can live with. If you keep shifting around, you never build up any proper takes time, shifting from one thing to another. It takes energy, shifting from one form to another, moving from one relationship to another, moving from one job to another. It's not to say that these are not helpful sometimes, particularly if the place that you are is actually damaging, or if it just disappears for some reason. If your friend, your father, your mother, your lover, if they die for some reason, because people do, then things shift. And then you can figure out what to do next. But keep your faith going that liberation is possible. There is something that is worth practicing. This is the suggestion that I have. Use the spiritual faculties. Saddha, virya, sati, samadhi, panya. So that there's something that you're exercising, like you're doing weights, so that or doing stretches, so that they're actually working these faculties. Yes. That the sati is, got the right, is able to balance in the present moment. Is he able to have the clarity, the samadhi of the clarity of purpose. So the sati is able to know this is the keeping an eye on what's needed in this moment for the wholesome results that you're putting your effort into, because you have some confidence that putting effort into wholesome things will produce wholesome results. The first verse of the Dhammapada. This is something that you can work with. Putting the energy into it. It's really worthwhile. And the idea or the structure of Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. It's talked about a lot. It was given as a reflection to Ajahn Sumedho in his first pansa, I think as a Samanera back in whenever it was. And it's not lost as an idea. It's something that can be worked with. And it can help you decide, what should I do next? Because how it will turn out, you don't know, I don't know. What you need to do, I don't know. What you can do, I don't know. And you can exercise these faculties. You can, the panya is, how do I get to complete freedom from neediness or feeling overwhelmed? And I have to work with what I've got now. So I have to find a way to be happy now. How I find a happiness to do what you do with a sense of, this is okay. I can do this as best I can. I may not do it perfectly, but it's good enough. It's not causing too much pain for myself or others. It's still possible to learn. I'm still figuring it out. And, I think that's true for all of us if we recognize our limitation. We do make mistakes. We do. And there is going to be irritation. There are preferences. This is the nature of human existence. There is frustration. It's not supposed to be otherwise. Should I go and get married? Should I have this relationship? Should I change my job? Should I change where I live? What sort of things should I do next? If you have the freedom and if you're not, if you have that freedom to ask that question, you are already incredibly fortunate. That's something to recognize. And then to appreciate what you have received and then see what you can give. That's the best you can do. So in your meditation, what should I do? Remember, you wish yourself well. Come into the present moment. Find something that you're doing that works to gather and collect. Notice what's happening. Notice the end of suffering. Notice where thinking stops. Understand there is dukkha, how it appears in all its facets. Abandon the causes. Driven by intentions. The causes are driven by intentions, often unconscious. Intentions that are confused. Intentions that are driven by just seeking some sort of sensuality, or intentions that are just wanting to get something or wanting to get rid of something, wanting to be or become, or wanting to just die, end. And that wanting to end is not going to actually realize the end. Because notice where the thinking ends now. Notice the silence and the space now. Can we be with that ending, the edge of the known? Can we know the liberation that the doubt allows? We're not caught in doubt, but we're recognizing that doubt is the gateway, because the doubt is the edge of the known. Knowing that we don't know. It's a really important faculty, because that knowing that we don't know is already a powerful knowing. And knowing that, we really don't know what's going on. Our capacity to realize reality is this much. What reality is beyond. Really, really, really beyond. So I hope that helps a little bit to get something going, for something to reflect on. And if you have further questions or prepared questions or something that's just occurred to you, if you have the capacity to have the faith that typing it in the chat box will produce a result. We'll see. Thank you. Okay, so we've got 4 questions. Thank you. Is it possible while we aim for the higher happiness at the same time on our way, could we also have smaller happinesses? Or can't they go together? I want my cake and I want to eat it. It's okay to appreciate. It's okay to appreciate. It's okay to appreciate and enjoy and goodness. It's just to recognize that there are levels. It's not wrong. Recognize the limitation. It's okay to appreciate. In fact, in order for there to be any sort of real continuity of attention, samadhi is based on happiness, and happiness is based on contentment. And that's an important basis. If you try to get samadhi without happiness, you're going to be really frustrated, because you have to rest on a sense of contentment, rest on a sense of happiness in that, wow, this is something that I can do. I do wish myself well. This is a happiness that's higher. It's not that there can't be you can't enjoy something, you can't appreciate something. But that's the thing. You also recognize, well, if I overstuff myself with sweets, then it's not going to be very good for me. If I put my sense of happiness is just, if only I get this stimulation, then I can be happy, then that's always going to be limiting. If I only have this contact, this is the only happiness. If you restrict your happiness to a smaller happiness, then it will block the bigger one. That's the difficulty. Now, if you restrict your happiness to the lesser happiness, that's when you wind up. If you want to know where you're going, notice what you give attention to. And it's not necessarily going to be safe. Can I help explain the 5 khandhas and non-self? I feel rather confused about their connection. The Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, the second sutta, was given to 5 good people, 5 good samanas who'd been practicing for an awful long time with the Lord Buddha. And it was maybe something that was, as it's been given to us, is something that was explained over a number of years. But these are the 5 things that we usually take personally. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. And if we really take them personally, then, they should ask anything that's a self, if it's really worth being a self, is the way the question goes, is this always satisfying or not? And if they're not always satisfying, why take them personally? Past, present, or future, fine or gross, internal or external, anything. If you take them personally, why take them personally? Because they're not worth taking personally. And it was put as a series of questions. If it's going to be something that is all in any idea you have of your past, I was this in the past, or I had this thought, feeling, perception or consciousness. Is it really satisfying? Has it ever really satisfied you? Anything that you could become in the future? Why take it personally? It was more in the terms of a question. If you take it personally, what's the result? Just more stress. It's not making a statement about whether you exist or not, because this is what you experience. But don't take it personally. Don't think you own it, whether it's for you. It's just causes and conditions. I don't know what my theme is for next weekend's retreat. Yes, our feelings of compulsively doing something and feeling inadequate, actually, yeah, they're linked. In the sense that I need to get on to do something. I can't be happy unless I get this done. It's part of this. It's not, and until there is complete awakening, it's worth actually not getting complacent, but actually feeling, not rather than saying, I need to get this done, saying I can get this done. Yeah, and being impelled to do something because one has the confidence that this can be done. It's not being compulsive about it, it's being properly putting the effort into it and having the confidence that this can be done. That's okay. But temper it with wisdom. What's it really leading towards? That's the balance that you have to put so that the thing doesn't become over-controlling. That's what I would say.